Hey, Sean Chandler here, and real quick, I wanted to give my predictions as to what I think will happen in the season finale of The Flash. It's going to debut here in Central Time in just about 2 hours, and I'm going to go live at 8:05 Central Time to go talk about it, to review it, to interact with you guys in the chat board. So if you guys want to join me at 8:05 Central Time, I'll do my reaction right after it happens. But as we are just a couple hours away from it happening, I want to give my predictions based off of all of the theories that people have been sending out there as to what's going to happen in the finale of this episode. So if you haven't watched the season, you're a little bit behind, don't want to watch this real quick because it will be spoiled. But the Mig Savage Flash says, first to like, thanks buddy, I greatly appreciate it. With that said, I'm real quick going to run through my predictions for this episode, so let's see what happens. Game Cop says, hey, you missed me? I did miss you, and I am glad that you are back. So real quick, here are the 6 fan theories I'm going to run through. Iris is actually alive, and someone else was killed, and they used that face swappy thing. So a bunch of people were speculating, theorizing that it was actually H.R. Wells that was killed because he felt guilty, so he used the face swappy thing. And so some people are predicting someone else was killed instead of Iris. I'm going to say I'm below 40% on that one. So for you, in the comment section, throw it in there, your thoughts on the predictions on each of these. Raiden Swoleman says, what's up, dude? Not much, just shooting a video and pumped about The Flash, going live in a couple of hours, and then I'm going to do my live show at 8:05 Central. So that's number 1. Do I think that Iris was killed, or was it someone else in there? I think it's a 40% chance that Iris is still alive. Theory number 2 that I'm going to go for. Barry creates the time remnants in this episode to stop Savitar. So the idea that he's going to create a bunch of himself to try and stop Savitar, which we know from other things is how that they're going to stop, or how Savitar was kind of created through the whole process of all of this. So what are my over and under that he'll create multiples of himself in this episode? I'm going to go under 20% on that one. That's my prediction. Under 20% chance that he's actually going to do that. We're going to see him create a bunch of himself as the way to stop Savitar in the episodes. That's my speculation, my thoughts on it. So that's theory number 2, where I'm at. It's like a 1 in 5 shot that that's going to happen. Theory number 3, I'm going to jump through real quick. Barry goes back in time and changes things up a little bit. So basically he said repeatedly, I am not going to change time. I'm not going to change time. So my speculation, my odds that he will actually in this episode go back in time and change something about the details of it. Maybe just go a day back in time, maybe go further to try and change things. I'm going at 33%. 33% chance that he's going to change something in this and travel through time. So are you still here? I don't know if I just disappeared for a few seconds or not, or if this was going the whole time. I got a phone call, which cut me off. But I'm still here. I canceled it. I did not take the phone call. I'm still here. Anyway, so 1 in 3 chance that he will go back in time and change things up a little bit. That's where I'm thinking the odds are at. Once again, if you're tuned in just now, I'm going to be live at 8:05 tonight Central Time to talk and review the episode. The more people that join in the comment section for that, the more fun it is and more lively we can get as our speculation as to next season and reflecting back on this season, what it all means. 4th theory, my thoughts on it, that Cisco will somehow redeem Killer Frost and get her to join with him in battling Savitar to help stop him, but there'll be some sort of redemptive arc for Killer Frost involving Cisco bringing her back around after their battle. I'm going 75%, over 75% chance, 3 out of 4 chance that Cisco will somehow redeem Killer Frost to get her to come and battle Savitar. That's the one that I'm thinking. That's the one that I'm most confident will happen in this episode. That's where I'm leaning the most. Then the final 2 speculation ones I'm going for, the depressing ones, death ones. Odds that H.R. Wells dies in this episode, I'm going to go 50-50 on this one, that H.R. Wells does some sort of sacrificial act to try and redeem himself for what he's done to stop Savitar. I think it's a 50-50 shot that somewhere in this episode or tied back to the previous episode, H.R. Wells dies. 50-50 chance. That's my guess on this one. It's kind of a coin toss, but I'm thinking there's a good odds that H.R. Wells will die in this episode as a redemptive arc for what he did in the previous episode. Him trying to do the right thing. Gamercock says, leaving now to go binge it on Netflix. Good call. You're not making a bad life choice. It's a fun little program. Final speculation is that Barry dies. My final speculation is as to whether Barry dies. And so he needs to stop Savitar. That's some sort of future version of him from a time remnant that turned evil in the Time Force, went back in time, started killing people, turned super evil. Therefore, if Barry kills himself, as we've seen in previous seasons with other similar type characters, he defeats Savitar. What are the odds in my mind that Barry will die in this episode as a means to stop Savitar? I'm going... and it's below 10%. It's like at 10% are the odds that Barry will die in this episode and leave us on this crazy cliffhanger. We're like, where do they go from here? Is Wally going to take over? Are they going to try and get him out? What are they doing with this? But 1 in 10 shot, or my guess is that Barry dies at the end of this episode. Pull a Buffy the Vampire Season 5 finale. We're like, whoa, all bets are off. What's happening next? Those are my speculation. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen in tonight's episode, the odds for where things are at, how things are going. Those are my speculations. So if you're watching this after it's live, go ahead and throw your thoughts down in the comment section with your odds, your bets. I will be coming back live at 8:05 Central Time right after it debuts in Central Time to talk about it, review it, react to it, and then likewise, let's speculate about next season. The more people that show up for that, the more lively the discussion is, the better it will be. So those are my predictions. Put yours in the comment section down below. If you're in the live feed, that stuff doesn't actually transfer over to the comment section. So once this video processes in about 4 minutes, if you can come back, put your predictions on those 6. The 6 are: Iris didn't die, it was someone else in the mask. That Barry creates the time remnants in this episode. That Barry goes back in time and changes time in this episode. That Cisco will somehow redeem Killer Frost, get her to come and stop Savitar. Number 5, that H.R. Wells will die in some sort of redemptive sacrificial act to stop Savitar because of what happened in the previous episode. And the 6th one, that Barry dies to stop Savitar, knowing how the time change will all work. Those are the 6, I can't count, 6 things. Put your thoughts in the comment section down below. Join us at 8:05 Central Time. Let's have a lively discussion. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button so you can get the future videos that I'm doing so you know that more are coming. And as always, thank you for watching.